Good morning, happy Friday, and welcome back to the NOFO Live Show, where I, Sunitha, along with my co-host Tracy, we hop on every Friday and talk about everything North Fork. I am visiting friends and family in New Jersey. I don't know what's going on with my hair. I forgot to pack my phone holder, so my phone is precariously propped on. I can't even describe the contraption, so I'm hoping it stays upright and lasts the 30 minutes that we'll be chatting. But the weather is beautiful. The sun is out, partly sunny, and it's warming up. So I'm super excited about spring coming there. As everybody knows, the spring season, once it starts, I mean, it's taking a little while to get there because it's been cold, cold, cold. But once it starts, like everything on the fork just opens up, and there's so much to do, and so many things to look forward to that I'm excited. I know this weekend, at the brewery, I think for St. Patrick's Day, they had a limerick contest, which I thought was so fun and so funny. So we have an official entry in there for that contest. So we're looking forward to hearing everybody's fun. Good morning, Tracy. How are you?
I'm good. Wait, where are you? Did I miss that
Yes,
part? You're not at
you
home.
missed that part.
You're not at home.
I'm visiting family in New Jersey.
Okay.
And I forgot to pack my, I actually was visiting girlfriends yesterday, so I had a whole day in Indian territory, ate Indian food,
Oh, nice.
browsed. Yeah, so I'm getting my whole Indian fix this weekend. That's what I'm doing. Good morning, Brittany. How are you?
Morning. I'm great. How are you ladies?
Good. Oh my
Good.
God. Seeing you just reminded me about how much fun we had at the web party. And I mean, because I've been having so much fun, I totally forgot that was only 2 days ago.
I know.
So, so let's just give a quick shout out to Mel, who owns Artie Papieri in Southhold. I want to say like maybe 4 years ago, she started this tiny little group by just texting 10 women saying, hey, local women entrepreneurs, like let's get together once a month and just chat after work and whatever. And it's turned into a whole tribe and community of like 400 people at least,
Is
right?
it
I
that
would say.
many now?
I
Wow.
think there's about 400 on the list. All women, all business entrepreneurs, owners on the North Fork, right? And we meet once a month. And this week, was it Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
um, we do a little anniversary celebration for the year. And it was so fun. It was great to see you there,
Yeah.
Brittany.
It was a great turnout. Really nice.
And
It was.
how nice to be in a room full of amazing women that are all either already doing amazing things or taking inspiration and trying to do more amazing things.
Totally. I've met a lot of people already through the group this past year I joined. So it's been really nice. And then to see all the businesses that are showcased, once a month, the places that host
Yeah.
the event.
Yes.
Nice
Yeah.
too.
Yes, yeah. Again, started out so casual, back to the brewery where I started to talk about, we really just called them and said, hey, how about we meet here? Then they started putting food out for us because the women started showing up. And then next thing you know, we're moving from venue to venue. Now there's
Yeah.
like almost a wait list of where we can host. So it's a great group. And and that's where we met you.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect introduction into you.
Yes.
And before you jump in, loving the display.
Oh,
Love that you came to represent.
You know what? But the words were in the way, and I thought that was a coffee cup. So thank you for pointing that out. They're beautiful.
oh,
It's
thank
the it's the Hamptons Handpoured candles.
you.
Wait, and does that say Zofo?
Yeah, so this is our ever-growing North Fork collection. So we have our all-encompassing East End, NOFO, and then from Orient Point to Akabog. This is what we have so far, and we're adding. I still need Laurel and New Suffolk.
Yeah,
So
Jamesport?
about that. Jamesport. Jamesport is down here. I don't know if you can
Okay.
see. Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Well, the phone cuts
Yeah.
it. Yes, when you're in the you can if you want to move your phone, we can, or you can. But wait, let's jump in. Let's introduce who you are and
Yes.
what do
Tell
you
us
do.
who you are, and then I have a ton of questions. Go.
My name's Brittany Torres. I grew up in Southampton, and I started this business 10 years ago. The name of Thank You. So this year we're celebrating our 10th year.
Wow.
And I live in Springs right now, but I still make the candles in Southampton. I hand pour every single one. And the name of my company is Hamptons Handpoured. And it started just with one candle, the Southampton candle, and it kind of just grew from there. People started asking, you know, where's Hampton Bays? Where's East Hampton? And then I made like a little collection and started peddling them to stores in each town.
Okay, wait.
I had like a
What brought the idea about making the first one?
So, like I said, I grew up in Southampton, and I was working at a local store there called 𝗕𝗿 Life and Style, who's also been in business for many years. And in the winter, I was having some health issues, and it was like during the holidays. And I just had this idea. So I was taking some time off of work, and I just had this idea to put like a scent with Southampton. It just kind of like came to me.
That just felt like home to you, right?
It felt like home, and I started experimenting. I was going to essential oil classes, trying to help my health ailments, and I really fell in love with scents. I always lit candles in my house. If I had people over or after done, you know, cleaning, I would light a candle. So it was always something like I had in my realm, but making a product, you know, to exemplify this place that I grew up and I love was just something like an idea that came to me. So I just made these candles. I learned how to make candles, and I gave them to friends and family. And the woman that I was working for, Kelly Kirkpatrick at 𝗕𝗿 Life and Style, she allowed me to put them for sale in her store, and they sold out.
Wow.
I stocked, you know, like little batches, you know, and this winter, like during holiday time. And then people started asking for other scents. So that's kind of how it started, kind of organically.
What is the scent that you started with? What scents made you think of Southampton?
So it's cotton blossom, gardenia white tea. So I actually thought of this scent. It smelled a lot like my aunt's house in Carmel, area, and just the color, like of the kind of like peaceful blue label, kind of resonated with me. And so that's just, it just seemed classic and clean and sophisticated and, you know, oceany. So
but I love how you took something that was organically happening in your life in terms of exploring scents to heal yourself, and then extend that into, you know, just making you feel better, literally, you know, getting a feeling of feeling better. So I love how, you know, so then tell me a little bit more about the scents, and did they actually, in, you know, aside from the candle business, did they actually help what you were going through?
Absolutely. So there was this really lovely woman, I forget her name. She was, you know, selling essential oils, and she would have these classes at the Hampton Bays Library. And basically she had this, you know, it's a little, whether you believe it or not, she had this like scanner that you put your hand on, and it would tell you what your body needs. As well as like a few things. You would talk to her, and, you know, if you had anxiety or if you had depression or if you had, you know, any pain, she would kind of lead you in the direction of what essential oil you should use, either topically, internally, or in the air in a diffuser. And I remember, because this was a long time ago, maybe 11 years ago, one of the key ingredients for me was geranium, because it was very grounding. So invited like friendships into your life. So I store, and I swear that I would have the best day. Like people would be engaging with me, like, and it just drew people and like good energy into my life. So that was like one thing that I really remember. Also, like orange is very uplifting, so I would put that in my diffuser for focus and things like that. So just these little like tips, it just kind of connected me to the world of scent beyond just like having a nice scented home, you know. So
how do you choose the different scents for the different towns?
That was going to be my question.
So this is kind of like several different ways that I decide. Sometimes it's my own experience of the area. So for example, like Watermill has apple for like apple picking. in the fall. Bridgehampton is like green and grassy for like the fields there and all the horse farms. You know, Montauk is very like relaxed but like vibrant at the same time. So it gives you this like soothing ocean grounding feeling, but it also has a little bit of spice for like the influx of visitors there in the summer. So I would do that. But then if there were places that I was unsure about, I would do a little research, or I would actually like talk to people from the area and ask, you know, what, if there was any, so for example, Manorville, I didn't know which scent to choose for Manorville. And somebody told me that there used to be cranberry bogs all throughout Manorville. So I ended up putting cranberry in the Manorville scent. So stuff like that.
So what does the Southold one have?
Yeah, I was going to say, we need to know Jamesport and Southold. Tell us.
So Jamesport is also very grassy for the farms, and Southold has that apple scent. So I mimicked scents from the South Fork and placed them into the North Fork collection based on the feeling of each town. Like East Marion has lavender, obviously, for like the big fields there. You know, Orient Point is very soothing and quiet and serene, you know, things like that. So I tried to pull the scents that I knew, because I have so many scents. I have like over like 50 different towns. I go all throughout the island.
Really? In reality, there are infinite combinations you can make by combining so many. So what a fun, creative outlet for you to even just be playing with all of this.
Yes, it is really fun. And I do a lot of custom work, and you know, people bring great ideas to the table and scent combinations that I would never think of, you know, so I try it out, and if it works, you know, it's great.
So,
you know?
how did you get from the, sorry, go ahead, Tracy.
You hand pouring every candle still?
Yes.
Wow. And how many different towns do you represent? How many different, I don't want to call it flavors, scents do you have?
I would say at least over 50. So
wow.
The entire South Fork, the entire North Fork, aside from a few towns that I want to get your guys' opinion on today.
Okay.
Then I have a Long Island scent. I have an all-encompassing Hampton scent. And then I go up the Eye of Long Island. And then we have like Port Jefferson, Bayshore, Huntington. So all of these different towns up the island. I started kind of on the coast, you know, like Patchogue, Bayport.
So how'd you grow and progress from the one store that you were in that you knew, and then how did you get to where you are today? What was that journey like?
So I decided, so say, for example, someone said, oh, you should be in East Hampton, or I'd love an East Hampton scent. So I created, I think the first like 6 candles, it was like Montauk, Amagansett, East Hampton, Bridgehampton, Southampton, maybe Hampton Bays. I think those were like the original ones. And then I would make a list. I would do some research, or if I knew a store that resonated with me and I thought it would be a good fit, I literally had this like little orange basket. I don't know why I gravitated to orange as my color these past 10 years, just I guess because flame and warmth, and it was just kind of like a pop of color. So I had this like bright orange basket, and I would go to like East Hampton, and I would go to my first choice store, and if they said yes, great. If not, I would go choose a second, you know, my second choice. And I would keep doing that. I would just go in person and at least show them, leave them a sample. And I went from town to town. I would do this for months. And yeah, and I still kind of do that, you know, because there are a lot of people, you know, even if you've been in a business for a while, there's so many people that like haven't heard of me or my candles, and it's like a good thing.
Well, you're
to,
speaking
like,
our story. We've been doing this for 4 years, and there's so many people that A, haven't heard that what we do, and B, there's still so many more we can still talk to. Like you know, Tracy and I always talk about it, we're never going to run out of guests. And I think similarly for you, especially I can speak for the North Fork, there are so many small businesses, you know, that can carry your product. So even if you are in many, there are still many more.
Yeah. New ones kind of, you know, I mean, unfortunately out here, it's very difficult to own a storefront, you know. There's some like staple stores that have been with me from the beginning that I'm so grateful for. And then there's some, businesses that didn't make it or have to, pivot and go into new locations or online and things like that. So there's always like fresh stores, fresh people, and you just have to be, ready for that change and, hopeful that they'll be receptive of your product, I would say.
Tell us where on the North Fork we can sell your candles. And then question B is, can we order them online?
Yes. So first of all, yes, you can absolutely order them online. And you just go to my website, hamptonshandpoured.com. You click shop and it takes you to my Etsy site. I've used is, I'm slowly going to be transitioning in the next few years and try to have my own storefront, but Etsy's been great. And I always say, try to find us locally first. And those stores on the North Fork, I'll start from Greenport. So in Greenport, we're in 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗁𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. Great store. She actually lives in Southampton. So it's easy for us to like make the candle exchange, and she to her shop. She opens, I think, today or tomorrow, actually, for the season.
Okay. And that's a great location because it's literally Main Street in front of the carousel. Like you can't miss it.
Yes, and she has a great assortment of stuff, like really cool things. We are in Salton Sea in Greenport. We have a custom candle there. In Southold, we are in Arnie Papery. Mel is so supportive, and she really believes in the product, and I think that's what makes it sell. Bedell, Quarry Creek. So Bedell's in 𝗪𝗁, Quarry Creek, and Southold. And then where else are we? I have a little list here. And we're at a book place in Riverhead.
Hey,
yeah.
We had them on the show. They're so lovely, right? I mean, that was a great, I want to say episode, but a great conversation. Yeah. They're a great business that I would love to support.
Yes, absolutely. So all of those. Oh, and also Pearl on Main has a custom candle too.
Nice.
Yeah. So if I try to be in one location, one town with my line, I try to not do more than one because the North Fork is such a small intertwined place. So I just try to be in one place with my my North Fork collection, and then I can do additional custom candles, that are.
So when someone does a custom candle, so like, does the candle say it's a Pearl on Main scent?
Yes. So they don't do that, but it says, like, for example, theirs is just like simple lavender, and on their label it says simple, and it's just white and gray in like a farmhouse jar. It's really pretty. And then on the bottom it has my warning label that has my branding on it. But I am open to private labeling. So if you want to, like, I do a lot of private labeling for people if they don't want my brand on there for whatever reason. I do that. I do collaborations where we have both of our branding on there, just their, just my branding, whatever they're, interested in.
Tracy, you're not making any movements, but I know the wheels in your brain are going and going. And she's already picturing, what does the NOFO Live scent smell like?
That was,
I can tell from here that it's working.
Yes, it is.
But
more specifically, what does a NOFO Live Bollywood scent smell like?
Ooh, we're putting it out there. We're putting it out there.
Yes.
Well, I would say definitely like a sea salt, maybe like a light floral, and then a little spice.
Wow. Like that is spot on for your first. Wow. I love it. Okay.
Yeah. What that aromatic when I like, I don't know, it's like for like breath and digestion. They're like little seeds.
Are you talking about cloves? Oh, fennel.
It's fennel. Yeah. Well, I don't know about a scent for that, but for a candle, but maybe that would add like a little earthiness probably to the candle. But we can play with that.
I'm thinking of a NOFO style scent. I mean, I don't know what the sunset smells like, but something.
Yeah.
It's a lot of food for thought. I'm really fascinated by the process of how you create and how it sounds such a Zen therapeutic process of even just smelling the scents and going, this is what I like.
Yes. Oh, it is totally. So when I create custom candles for businesses, events, weddings, I would give you like a custom form, and on that form it has like different genres of scent. So masculine, feminine, ocean, floral, earthy. You can search those, or if you have very specific tastes, like you like Palo Santo or Santal, or something I might have never heard of. Like somebody wanted a tea tree olive. Or tea olive, excuse me, that only came from Australia. I had to order this fragrance from Australia. And I never heard of tea olive before. And it was a beautiful, light, kind of like milky, sweet scent. It was so pretty, so I'm open to that. And I always can source it from my wholesalers. And so after that, you can just let me know, what you want on your label and things like that. I designed the label, and then I give you, based on all that information, I give you 3 scent samples to choose from, and then 3 labels to choose from. And then I can make alterations as we go. So that's basically part of like my setup and the process.
So you're a candle maker, you're a scent specialist, you're a label designer, you're a cold caller, like knocking on business door, like so many hats.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, like, yes, the scent selection might be a very zen process, but you are still knocking out candles, putting the labels on, doing all of this yourself, which is a lot of work, I can hear.
Yeah, it's definitely very laborious. I started this when I was 30, so now I'm 39, and it is, I feel the wear and tear. I lift like heavy boxes of wax, glassware and things like that. But my parents also, they have retired within the last 10 years, and it's kind of like a family affair. Like my dad, he puts the wicks in the glass for me, and he puts the stick to the glass. They help it as much as they can. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do this. And my mom puts all the labels and cleans the wax off and cuts the wicks. So they help me with all that part, and I have more time to focus on the sales, and interacting with the customers back and forth. We ship, so it is a lot of work, but
well, how wonderful that you get to connect with them in a different way,
Totally. They're the best. So.
Tell us a little bit more about the candles themselves. What are they made of? I know,
Sure. So they're all 100% soy. All of my fragrance oils are plant-based, derived from essential oils for candle making. 100% cotton wick. And then all this glassware is made in the United States. So I try, my boxes are made by a local box company, and the artwork even on my box is a local photographer, 𝗪𝗺𝗫.
Oh,
took this.
Beautiful.
Or I don't know if you can see it, but I have her credit on the bottom. I don't know if anyone has ever, but I just fell in love with this image for the boxes. I just felt like it was serene, and like the dunes and the.
I see Erin on here waving to you. I know you were featured on News 12. Hi, Erin. What was that like? That must have been a fun experience.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. So awesome. It was like a dreary day, I think in February or March last year. And I was able to have some friends and family come to an intimate candle class, and we all made the Long Island candle. And we actually added a bunch of like dried florals from a company called Pure Nature on Long Island. And we just had so much fun. It was like a really nice warm morning, and we had it at Therapy Life and Style, just to display what,
That's the original store, right?
Yeah.
You said that's the original store.
Full circle. And we had a great day. It was really awesome.
Well, that's
quite an accomplishment, really. And I love that everything that you're doing is very Long Island focused, and that you're sourcing everything local. I think that's really important.
Thank you. Yeah, it's hard, because my costs are high, and that's kind of why I continue to make things myself and not like outsource it or anything like that, because I do want to keep it as local and the quality as high as I can. So we'll see what the future holds. I'm really trying to expand in the next few years. It has been 10 years, and I have so many ideas for like different collections. But it's great as this foundation, that we've made with the community. Like, I just feel like part of this business community on the East End, and it really is like a special place to be, as opposed to, you know, somewhere that you don't have that local support and you're just a business online. You know, I really do feel like I have a family of people who support me out here. So it's really cool.
And we started out the show talking about the web group because they, you know, we just had the party for the web, but everybody there is a small business. And like I said, there's about 400 of them in the group now. And everybody understands the value of supporting each other and what it really takes to produce a product in small batches, right? Because it's one thing when you have a, you know, when you invest more and you have a larger facility, then your per item cost goes down, but then you're also not getting that individual interaction that someone's getting from when I light a candle that you made. I know Brittany sort of poured this, and now I know your mom trimmed the wick, you know, so there's that whole, there's that whole emotion that goes along with. And how lucky are we to live in a space where people value that and are willing to spend a little bit more to support that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think people get it, you know, like I think people understand that it's like difficult to run a business, and you know, they want to support you, and at the same time they're getting a nice product, you know, to gift their friends, themselves. So yeah, so it's kind of a win-win for everybody, and I'm so grateful, seriously, for the support, because it allows me to live in the place where I grew up and do something that I love. So it's really cool.
Now, before we go into our NOFO Live 5, you said you had some questions about certain towns. So I'm going to let you go first, and then we'll kick off our NOFO Live 5.
Oh, sounds great. Great. Okay. So the first is Laurel. We don't have Laurel yet, and I know that's where you live, Sunita.
No.
I live in Southold, actually.
Oh,
but I do love Laurel. And actually, I understand why you don't have too much information on it, because it's a tiny town, right? I mean, I don't know if you have 𝗵𝗂𝗃. Same thing. I think it gets lost between 𝗵𝗃 and Southold, but it does exist.
I can tell you, like, my initial thought between those two specifically would be that Laurel is like a water scent, a sea salt, because like I associate Laurel with driving down 𝗵𝗃𝗽 Boulevard and all of those houses right on the water, right? And then 𝗵𝗃𝗃 I associate with farms. And so that would be more earthy to me.
Okay. That's a great thought, for sure. I was thinking, you know, I don't have any sunflowers in any of my scents yet. And sunflowers is a cool earthy scent. So that might be
a good iconic one.
So this is going to sound really bizarre, but there's a gas station, literally a gas station in 𝗵𝗃𝗃. Every year, and I don't know if it's Southold, but they might be 𝗵𝗃𝗃. Every year they grow around the gas station. I want to say, I don't know what they call, like king sunflowers, but they're bigger than your face, like they're giant. And I've never driven into town where the gas station is so beautifully looking in summer when they grow sunflowers. So I guess that's the plan for 𝗵𝗃𝗃.
Oh, perfect. That sounds, I know.
Was that, do you have Aquabog?
I do have Aquabog.
Okay. Okay.
Is that driftwood, lilac, and bay breeze?
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Drift, you had me a driftwood.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say maybe duck.
That's not bad. Like a nice glaze for a duck scent, like cherry or orange.
Orange, you know, like you always have duck l'orange.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, Tracy, we're going to let Brittany do the scents, not you.
I know. I'm kidding. You forget that I grew up, you know, literally around duck. I raised ducks when I was little, so that's just a part of my life.
And I'm very happy for you, but I'm going to let Brittany decide our scent more than you.
All right, so let's go to our NOFO Live 5. So, Brittany, if you were going to take Sunita and I out to lunch or dinner, where would you choose to take us?
So I was thinking about this, and may I do a North Fork and a Hamptons?
Of course, yes.
Okay. So I was thinking, I always love going to the 𝗵𝗃𝗃 Diner for lunch. I like really like understated places that just have good food. And like,
hello, if I could say Latin fusion in every episode, I will.
Yeah. I would say 𝗵𝗃𝗃 Diner is just a great place for like brunch or lunch.
And what a beautiful vibe. What a beautiful vibe.
Yeah, just so easy. And then for lunch in the Hamptons, I was thinking of 𝗪𝗪s in Sag Harbor.
Okay.
They Spanish Mexican infused breakfasts and and then on the weekends they do dinner, and it's like such a small, intimate place, and it's delicious.
And the chef is so well renowned, and I forget his name right this minute, but we featured him for Slow Foodie Stand and cooking on a fire, and a beautiful restaurant.
Where is that restaurant in Sag Harbor? Is it in the main town or is it off the side?
It's off the side. I want to say it's on Bridgehampton Sag Turnpike. Okay. And it's like this little building, and if you go in the summer on a Saturday, you will have to wait like 2 hours. Like, it's crazy.
Wow.
Not because they can't dish out the food, but because it's like really, really busy. And they have this whole outdoor garden. Sometimes they have live music. It's really cool.
Sounds lovely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Road trip.
I was thinking, yeah, for sure. Anytime we should go.
Well, before the crazy season begins, you know, so we can actually get there. Otherwise, it's just the traffic between trying to get from here to there.
Totally. Yes. I know. And it's really nice in the spring. And then for dinner, I was thinking Cliff's Elbow Room. One of the best steaks I've had was there.
Yeah.
Again, I like to
that would be Tracy's sort of go-to, because it's in your neck of the woods.
I often do takeout burgers from Elbow Room or Elbow Room too, because their burgers are the best.
Yeah.
I know you always say that's you love their burgers.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Brewery, winery, cocktail, mocktail. What do you enjoy, and where do you go?
So I love the Greenport Brewery. They have an amazing duck porter. I really like dark beer. So
the ducks were mentioned, spoken about today.
Okay, Tracy.
Full circle. The duck porter is really good. I like a dark Guinness usually, or a stout, milk stout, and that one is like better than any stout I've ever had. If I had to go to a place in the Hamptons, I would say the Sagaponack Farm Distillery. They have really nice house-made cocktails and live music there as well.
Okay. Sunrise or sunset? What do you catch in between all your long working hours? And give us some good spots, and maybe even on the South Fork. So when we do this road trip, I can end up at one of it.
Okay, so definitely sunset. I am not a morning person. The only time I ever catch sunrises is usually in the winter when it's like a full moon and I wake up 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm ready to go. But sunsets for sure. And I would say on the North Fork, I love Sound View, the halyard there, or catching it on the North Ferry home. That's always so beautiful. And then in the Hamptons, for sure, 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗏 Point in Southampton. It is this small bay beach. You go through like a little neighborhood with all these little cottages, and people are bringing their dogs, having fires, have their trucks up on the beach, and it's like the best spot. You always can see it year round from.
Well, that's kind of actually important to point out, because there are a lot of locations where you can see a great sunset, but it may be seasonal because of how it moves, and so you may catch it better in summer or whatever. So, but that, because I have driven to some places in the off season and be like, oh, it's too far to the left. You can't,
Yeah, or you like miss it. Like it's already below the tree line, and you get there like right before sunset and you totally miss it. So yeah, I definitely am a sunset watcher every day.
So when you're doing a delivery on the North Fork and you're headed home, tell us a farm stand you might go out of your way to stop at, and then tell us when we do our little road trip, what farm stand on the South Fork we should hit.
So I've been going to 𝗵𝗻𝗪𝐺's farm stand since I was literally a baby. We would go when I lived in Southampton. We always would go on the North Fork to pick our pumpkins, and I have so many pictures, which I wish I could have found one for this, of me like as like a 4-year-old like in that pumpkin, that metal that they have.
Oh, well, if you find it, whenever you find it, tag us, because we'll tag Rachel in it.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say definitely there. And on the South Fork, definitely share the Harvest Farm in East Hampton. They are such a nice group of people. They always have the best produce. They donate and give to like all the food pantries on the South Fork.
I think it's a pretty large amount of produce that's grown there to be donated. Again, back to my time spent with Slow Food East End, I got to know so many people doing so much good in the community, and Share the Harvest Farm is one of the places that blew us out of the water. They have people coming in, volunteering their time to just grow stuff, and then they donate fresh grown produce to people in need, which is so amazing.
It is
Yeah.
so, and Meredith runs that. I can't think of her last name at the moment.
I just remember Meredith also, but
Yeah.
yeah, and there's another farmer with her, but I can't remember the name. But they're doing great things, and go support them because, like I said, they spend so much of their produce donating, but they could use all the help that everybody could get.
Absolutely.
Well, Brittany, thank you so much for being on the show. And I also want to say thank you for coming up to me at the web group and introducing yourself, because, we were standing on the buffet line and she tapped me on the shoulder and she's like, I'm going to be on NOFO Live on Friday. And it was just such a lovely interaction, and what a lovely show to have you on. And I love what you're doing. And just tell us in a couple of words why you love being a part of the North Fork.
I would say how welcoming everyone that I've met is, for a product on, coming from the Hamptons, the quote unquote Hamptons. I feel like everyone has just really welcomed me and my product on the North Fork, and they get it. I feel like the East End as a whole, where the two forks are one and the same, and there's differences obviously that makes it so great, but at the same time, it's just been, I just feel the warmth from the North Fork community. They understand that I'm hand making this product, and they want to go above, and everybody I've met wanted to go above and beyond to welcome me in. So I really appreciate it, and I hope it grows even more. I also wanted to say before we go, I'm going to be at the Greenport Brewery in 𝗵𝗂𝗃 from 12 to 4 on March 29th. They're doing a nice vendor market there. And then after at 4 o'clock, there's going to be live music. So if you want to check out my full North Fork line minus Laurel, New Suffolk, and 𝗵𝗂𝗃.
Hey, you've got 5 days to figure it out. Get your parents out there and start cutting those weight.
Right here, she's saying definitely.
Hi,
Mom.
Well, thank you for creating such a beautiful product, and thank you for doing your best to keep it local and to keep it small and keep it homemade, because I think more and more people are starting to see the value in it and appreciate the beauty of it. So thank you. I will actually also, switching hats now, be at this Greenport Brewery Market. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll be bringing some of my NOFO style bags and some jewelry and some stuff. So I'll get a chance to see you again, Brittany. So that sounds great.
Up next to each other and chat.
Perfect. So we'll enjoy a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next Friday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Everyone, happy weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.